Happy May Day! What a hearty lot we are here in Minnesota. Thank you to all you brave souls. You know, I had lengthy remarks that went out the window this morning. I shall be brief assured. I am Marvin Plackett, the CEO of Episcopal Homes, and what a special day it is for us today as we are about to embark upon the largest project that Episcopal Homes has done, at least in recent history. And in fact, at this time in the city of St. Paul, this is the largest project at $45 million. This is the largest project occurring in St. Paul at this time, other than the completion of the light rail line. That's $1 billion. But other than that, at $45 million, ours is the largest project occurring in the entirety of our great city of St. Paul. So it's a significant day. In a year and a half when we open, we will be home to another just under 200 residents. We will be employing another just under 100 new staff. So it's a significant project, a significant day. It's going to be a beautiful 7-story building. We believe it will significantly enhance our neighborhood, which is already a very special, wonderful neighborhood. With the coming light rail, this makes a big statement right on the new green line, as you see just about 20 feet in this direction to the north. You know, it takes a village. It takes a collective effort always to bring together such a significant project like this. And it took many funding partners. And our major funding partners on this project are the City of St. Paul, HUD, or the Housing and Urban Development, Met Council, Minnesota Housing, and many private funding partners. First at the table, though, we had the City of St. Paul. That was just over 2 years ago, and that really primed the pump. That got things going. Mayor Coleman, we are very grateful for your leadership of our great city of St. Paul and very appreciative of the strong support you've always showed Episcopal Homes in this project. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Coleman.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm a little worried because this might mean that Latimer gets to speak after me, and I never trust him if I don't get a rebuttal. But I am so glad to be here on this beautiful, beautiful December day. It is times like these that try our souls, that test us as Minnesotans when we have to face 6 to 9 inches of snow on the beginning of May 1st. But the reality of it is that the warmth that I feel in this tent here today for this project is really remarkable, because this is truly a great partnership. Marvin mentioned some of the partners, and first and foremost, the relationship that we have had with Episcopal Homes, the work that they have done here already, the community that they have created here is really wonderful, and in other places across the city. I know firsthand with Jim and Jan Johnson, my in-laws who are in the second row, that have found a home here. They were actually just looking to move into the city of St. Paul so they could vote for me in 2005. And they found this great community here and have loved it, and so we're very happy for that. But I was thinking about it in the context of this last Sunday's test run of the light rail line. Now, it was kind of a pathetic test run in some ways because they had a truck pushing a cart or pulling a cart along the lines. But when you think about what that step was, 30 years of discussion about how we could not only connect our downtown, between downtown St. Paul and downtown Minneapolis and all of the amenities, but how we could rebuild a corridor that had been really decimated when the freeway came in the 50s and the early 60s. Ever since that time, University Avenue has never been what it was once. A true transit corridor, a true center of a community, the thing that unites us in different points along this avenue. And so as we have rebuilt that corridor, as people have seized new opportunities along that corridor, we've realized what we can create here. And it is a stretch that is home for all of us in the city of St. Paul. Whether you are a young person living on the corridor because you want to access the universities, whether you're a worker at Regents Hospital or the State Capitol Complex or in downtowns on either end, or you're a senior that's looking for a place to move after the kids are gone, after you're looking for a little downsizing, if you're looking for a place that provides a little bit higher, better quality of care, all of these things are possible when we have the partnerships to make that happen. None of us could do it by ourselves, but together we have done this, and I think it's an amazing project. $45 million is a good figure. I would like to think that that's an opening bid for what we're going to be able to create along the line here. Technically, the stadium's going to be a little bit more expensive, although a lot of that's land acquisition, so I don't know how you're counting your numbers there, Marvin. But the fact of the matter is, light rail is doing exactly what we thought it could do, which is to transform our community, to rebuild our community, and to reconnect our community. And there is no better example of what that power of the light rail and of great transit corridors can do than this project that we break ground on here today. It's a great statement about the values of our city. It's a great statement about what we care about. It's a great statement about what our future holds. Thank you very much.
Our partnership with Episcopal Homes has been nothing short of outstanding. And to you, Marvin, and to the entire Episcopal Home family that's here today, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your dedication, for the mission you have, and for your vision. If not for that, all this would not happen. You've gone beyond, the program requirements of decent, safe, and affordable housing. What you've done is create homes that people can be proud to call their home. So thank you very much. We're looking forward to this project so much that we can't hardly handle it. So thank you again.
Thank you, Paul. Local support is always a vital component to any project, but particularly one that is this large. And we have always had wonderful, strong support from our local council member for this area of the Midway part of St. Paul. So please join me in welcoming our council member, Russ Stark.
Good morning, everyone, and this is definitely the spring of our discontent, at least today. The mayor had to say something, and I appreciated it in advance of Latimer speaking. I have to do the same too. I actually thought that the deal today was you could either speak or be on the waiting list for the new building. I'm told that someone may have both of those things, and we'll have to talk about that later. But no, really, Episcopal Homes has been a wonderful institution in this community for a long time, and I think this expansion of the campus really finishes Marvin's and the board's incredible vision for creating a real community here on University Avenue, where we used to have car lots and empty spaces and a lot of other things in a way that wasn't at all obvious to folks who were here 10, 15, 20 years ago or longer. The words housing on University Avenue did not exactly roll off the tongue. And yet when Marvin and company built Seabury here almost 10 years ago, they really set the stage for a lot of development to happen along the corridor. And I'm really just here to say thank you for all of your work and leadership. It's a pleasure just to be part of such a great and growing community. I'm particularly excited for the neighbors around who live in my ward to be able to plug into this community even more in the future with the coffee shop coming in, the daycare facility, more reasons for the Episcopal Homes community to be connected to the rest of the neighborhood. So thank you for all of your work. Thank you, Mayor Coleman, for all of your leadership, for getting us to this day. And what a great day despite the weather. Thank you.
What a pleasure to introduce our next special guest, a person that we know very well. Those of us that are at least my age and a little older, this person has been the mayor of St. Paul for 14 years, and we're so pleased that he is going to be joining us as a future resident. Please join me, Mayor George Latimer.
I want to thank the bishop and I want to thank the previous speakers all for being well within the time limit, and I appreciate the extra time you've given me to talk. I owe it to you to tell you what brings me here and why I'm going to be a resident here. We've been blessed. 4 of my 5 kids live pretty close to where I now live. And 2 of the girls, Faith and Kate, were in my house, and I said, you know, it's a long time, this big old house. I'm going to sell it, and maybe I'll move in with one of you. And they said, Dad, we want to take you over to Episcopal Homes and so I got a lot of encouragement right from home. And then besides the Johnsons, does everybody here know Ruby Hunt? You better. Okay, well, Ruby Hunt, you know, told me a couple of years ago, you know, she said, this is a real community, this is where you belong, you ought to come here. And I said, Ruby, for crying out loud, it's Protestant, and I'm sort of a Catholic. And she said, well, it's not Protestant, it's Episcopalian. And I learned of that in your history when it was a nun who started it all in the 1890s. What was it? The deacon, sister, somebody else. So that might explain why a lot of nuns are leaving to become Episcopalians. Marvin and I and the rest of the Episcopal Home leadership really don't know each other very well. But Nancy Latimer spent 30 years in philanthropy, and she had such a high regard for you. And the reputation of Episcopal Homes is unparalleled. You've been doing it for 100 years, and you created the model, and that's pretty wonderful. Thank you for taking me in. As my mother used to caution me, it isn't till the fall of 14, and so whenever I spoke futuristically, she said, if God spares you, George, don't forget. So if God spares me, it's right about...
There you go.
When we were looking it over, they looked at me and Kate and Faith and said, well, what did you have in mind? And Kate looked at me. She said, I can tell you right now, he wants the largest at the top. And I'm not sure it's the largest, but I'm going to like it. Thank you all very much.
We'll all toss it into the wheelbarrow. Ready? 1, 2, 3.